Alright, let's go ahead and do a little video. What do you say? We're going to talk about the relics that I found in the last video, which was posted last night. And it was a pretty exciting little video. I found a bunch of bullets and stuff. It's a Confederate camp that I've never hunted before, or detected before. I should say detected, not hunted. People don't like the word hunted so much. Anyway, off topic. It has been hunted before, but there's still stuff out there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spread out the bones and the bullets and the melted lead and stuff. And we'll talk about it a little bit. And I'll explain to you a little bit more about what I mean by melted lead. And just things like that. Just things I wasn't able to cover in the field. And hopefully it won't be too long. Now I'm going to warn you. Okay, I'm in my basement where I have a wood stove that heats the entire house. So it's like 180 degrees in here. I'm sweating like crazy. So I'm going to try to hurry this up, okay? Come over here. Let's take a look at the bullets. So this is pretty much a totality of the relics that I found in that video. We have a number of different things. Let's go ahead and just start with the bones. Now I kind of joked around that those could be human bones, but you can tell pretty easily just by looking at them that they're actually probably a bird bone. They're very light. I don't think there's any bone in the human body that even slightly resembles those. So those are probably, they could be chicken bones, they could be turkey bones from the wild turkeys out there. It's really hard to say. So they aren't human bones. And if they were human bones from the American Civil War, which took place 160 some years ago, they would not be in that condition. They'd be like they'd be dust basically, unless they were buried in certain conditions. Let's work our way down to this cool little hammer. This is like a musket hammer or a rifled musket hammer, except it isn't. Because actually, if you notice, it's left-handed. It goes on the left side of a firearm of some sort. And what this is probably going to be, almost 99% sure, is going to be the hammer from a double-barreled shotgun. You'd have a hammer on this side and a hammer on this side. So there's two hammers, so there could be another hammer out there somewhere. And it's a percussion hammer. The percussion cap would be on the nipple of the shotgun, and this would come down and hit it and make it go off. So that's probably a double-barreled shotgun. In reality, fits pretty well with some of the stuff we're finding out there, because pretty much, as far as I can tell, everything we're finding is Confederate. And the Confederate cavalry, especially, like to use shotguns, because they would like to get in close to the other horsemen where they could blast away with buck and ball or blast away with buckshot. So you often find shotgun parts, and there's some really cool shotgun slugs that you can find that the Confederates use that I have found before, and I'm hoping maybe we can find again in this camp when we get back out there. All right, let's continue, shall we? Lots of questions about this piece right here, and I think this is just, I'm not sure what it is. I do believe it's war related, and it looks more like, to me it almost looks like a piece of a flat chain, like it might have been links together. You see it's kind of wallowed out on the inside a little bit, like something was pulling against it, but I'm not really sure. This is probably just horse tack of some sort. Now, it does have a distinct shape, so we might be able to figure out eventually, if we wanted to, as to exactly what that went to, or what kind of buckle that might be. These are 54 caliber Gardner bullets. 2-ring bullet. If you look in the bottom, I've kind of cleaned them out. They have gunpowder in the bottom. That's actually, you can see it's black. That's actually gunpowder. So these are 54 caliber, and I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. This is a Sharps bullet. This is a breech loading bullet, meaning you don't shove it down the barrel to fire it. And that's probably a Yankee capture. Because that's the Confederates did make Sharps bullets, but they look a little bit different than that. I should have jumped over here first. This is a fired Gardner bullet. I believe that might be 58 caliber. If you look, yeah, see? This is definitely a lot bigger than this one. So this would be shot out of it like a 54 caliber rifle. This is a 58 caliber rifle. I actually have over here a 69 caliber Gardner, which is actually quite rare. And this would be fired out of a 69 caliber rifle. It's probably measured like closer to 68 caliber. This is probably 57 or so, just a little bit smaller than the inside of the barrel. So these are the 69 caliber balls. Well, they're not actually 69 caliber, they're smaller than that, but they're shot out of a 69 caliber smoothbore musket. And these are probably buckshot that go with it, and it would take 3 each. And this is what they would look like in the cartridge. Now there would be paper wrapped around here with gunpowder down in here. But this is a cartridge I found in the water, and they're actually kind of fused together on their own. Normally they would have been loose, but that's how they sat in the cartridge, and when you fired it, you would have 4 projectiles that came out. And the interesting thing about it, although the round smoothbore muskets were not near as accurate as the rifles, I was reading that with a 69 caliber ball with the 3 buckshot fired at a range of 200 meters, or well, 200 yards actually, that the chances of hitting a man were better with that at 200 yards than it was with a 58 caliber rifled mini ball. And you always think the mini ball is so much better at distances, but even up to 200 meters, the chances of hitting somebody with one of those 4 is greater than the mini ball. Now after that, the mini ball takes over, and you can shoot somebody with one of those, 4, 6, 800 yards away. All right, let's move over to the melted lead, because this is kind of interesting too. When I found this, I assumed it was melted lead, and I'm still assuming it's melted lead. It almost looks like a really badly flattened fired bullet, but the thing is, I just don't see, I'm just not convinced it's that, and mainly because if you look right here, this is like sunken in, this part of the bullet. I see that all the time when I'm melting sinkers, because I melt sinkers to make diving weights and whatnot, is that the lead will melt and it'll like come out the bottom, and the skin of the sinker, old sinker has some oxidation, will actually stay like in its shape, or like slowly like kind of sink in a little bit before it completely falls apart. And I think that's what's going on here, and I'll show you another bullet that I have. It's a melted bullet of some sort. Looks like it's a 2-ring, I think they used to call them Garibaldi's, but I think they call them something else now, some type of North Carolina bullet. But you can see how this is very similar. This is 100% melted. The bottom part right here melted, and it flowed out in the campfire. And so it's like a half of a bullet with the other parts of the melted lead here. I think the same thing happened to this. It started melting, collapsed here, and it flowed out the bottom. So I think that's melted as well. This little piece of lead here is just a little chunk of melted lead that could have just come off of something like this in another bullet, or well, something like that. And that's another piece of melted lead from a different camp. It's the same type of thing though. Because you can imagine if that was in the fire just a little bit longer, or the fire was a little bit hotter, that this would have broken away, and there might have been 2 pieces of melted lead right there. So let's talk about this little pistol ball right now. This is 40 caliber, but you can see the rifling marks with a rifling cut into the bullet, so it would impart a spin on it. Now, when I found this in the field, I thought I could see cloth marks on there, but I don't see them now, so I think it was just bad eyesight. I hope you enjoyed that little video, and if you want me to do more like this, just let me know in the video comments. I'll try to do, like when I do the wrap-ups at the end of the video, I can't really talk about it too much because a lot of times everything's dirty and I can't really see what it is. But I can bring stuff home like I did here and set it on the table and we can talk about it, and I'll just run the video the next day because I don't want a 30-minute video. I've got to really cut back my times on that. Most videos are 15 to 20 minutes on YouTube at the max, so I'm running 30, and that's just too freaking long. That's a lot of work for me. I'm gonna do 5 or 6 a week. And don't forget, I know this sounds silly, but like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button, and it makes my heart go pitter-pat. And if you can subscribe, that would be even better if you haven't already, because that makes my heart go pitter-pat, pitter-pat. You get a double pitter-pat out of that one. That's pretty awesome, well, at least for me. We'll see you in the next one.
Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between.